Today is Thursday, May 14th, 2015, and I am currently 7 weeks post-op from having gastric sleeve surgery. I had my surgery on March 25th, 2015. I want to start off this video by saying I feel great. I have had a really good week. I had a really good week last week. As you guys know, if you watched my last video, it was dedicated to my mom. And I spent, last week with my mom. But you may notice that my surroundings don't look like my normal video surroundings. That's because I got to go on my first business trip finally after surgery. I wasn't nervous about going on this trip. Last week I spent time at my parents', so I was away from the comforts of my home and what I've known for 6 weeks. And this week I ventured out and was on a business trip for work, and it's been a great week. This week has taught me that I can leave the comforts of what I know and still be successful with my weight loss. So I want to give you guys a little update on how the week has went. If you watched some of my other blogs, you know that I was excited because I was hoping to get on an airplane and not have to use an extender. Well, I got on an airplane on Wednesday, which is yesterday, and I went ahead and asked for an extender. That's just, it's kind of robotic. It's what I've done for the past 5 years since I've been traveling for work consistently. So I went ahead and asked for an extender. I sat down in the seat, and the very first thing that I noticed is that I didn't have to squeeze into the seat. I was able to sit comfortably. It was an hour-and-a-half flight, about both times. And I wasn't like super uncomfortable. Usually the seats kind of squeeze in on my hips and my backside, and they were comfortable. I did need to use this seatbelt extender both times. I have noticed, and I'm not an airline expert, but the seats and the seatbelts are different sizes depending on the size of the plane. So I did need my extender, but that's okay. I only needed it by like this much, like just a little bit. And I'm not disappointed in myself. I'm not mad at myself for it. I am just proud that, I only needed this much, and I was able to sit in the seat more comfortably, and I didn't have to, suck it in. So that definitely started my trip off on a positive note. When I got to the airport, I met my boss, and I hadn't seen her since probably 2 weeks after my surgery. I mentioned she had come to the hospital to see me after surgery, but she just kind of, we were like walking towards each other at the airport. She's had these bug eyes, like her eyes were huge. I'm like, is there something going on behind me? What's going on? And she's like, oh my gosh, you look so small. So that definitely helped me to start off the week on a positive note. My boss has been a really good fitness role model for me. She's currently training for a half Ironman, and I've talked before how supportive my work has been during my surgery and during my weight loss, and it's really great to have a boss like that. In fact, last night we worked out together. I've stayed on my workouts. I worked out Wednesday night and Thursday night. I did a cardio tonight. I did strength last night. And I belong to Planet Fitness, and I have a black card, which means I can go to any Planet Fitness anywhere. So I was able to find a Planet Fitness about 5 miles from the hotel, and we went there and worked out together. And it was really nice. It was definitely a good bonding experience, to be able to do that with my boss. But I've stayed on my workouts just because I'm traveling, just because I have a busy work schedule doesn't mean that I can slack off on my exercise, because it's important that I get that in. I was gonna go Wednesday morning before I caught my flight, but I ended up not going. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't work out, because I got a chance to work out with Connie on Wednesday night. I've done really well on my food this week as well. I packed a packet of tuna and some applesauce in my purse just in case I was in a situation where I wasn't able to eat the food that the restaurant offered, or they didn't have something that I felt comfortable eating. So I did come prepared, packed me some food, but didn't have to use it. I did have an incident tonight at the restaurant that we ate at. We went to kind of a nicer restaurant. They had fish and steak and chicken and whatnot. And I was looking at the menu, and it's rather overwhelming. Excuse me. Every meal came with salad and bread and a meat and 2 sides. And I'm like, I'm literally going to eat 3 ounces of this food. I don't need all that. I don't need a $30 meal. I'm going to eat $3 worth of food. So I asked my waiter if I could order from the children's menu. I said, do you have a child's menu I can look at? He's like, no, that's only for kids 12 and under. So I had to explain my situation to him. St. Francis gave us this little card to carry that said, you know, I'm a recent weight loss patient. You know, please allow this person to order half portions or off the kids menu. And I didn't have my card with me, so I just had to simply explain to my waiter, hey, I just had surgery and I'm not going to be able to eat a lot of food. Can you please allow me to order off the kids menu? So he checked with his manager and they said yes. So I was able to order something off the kids menu. But still, the kids portion was huge. I probably ate maybe like a 1/4 or a 1/6 of the meal that they actually brought me. There's no way I was going to eat it all. I hadn't planned on it. It was way more than my 3 ounces, but being on the road this week has just taught me that you can still do this, Amy. Just because you're traveling, just because you're, you know, working all day and away from your home gym and away from the comforts of your home, you can still stay on track with your weight loss. It's a little bit more difficult. Like, I had to pack protein powder, which you guys know I'm not a fan of, but I had to get my protein in. This one was a short trip. Next trip's going to be a little bit longer, so I plan on trying to go to the grocery store and get some of my actual protein drinks that I like. So that's my update this week for you guys. So I guess the idea behind this vlog is that just because you're away from home doesn't mean that your weight loss stops. It still continues. Your program still continues, and you have to stay on track. And not veer off. So I'm excited. I've had a great week, even though I've been away from home. But I hope that everyone has a beautiful weekend coming up. And Jason and I plan on getting out and getting active this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.